Dear Executive Secretary of the National Space Council, representatives from US departments, authorities, agencies and research centers, executive and investors, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for being with us today for the Italian National Space Day. What I learned this morning, I didn't know. Why the 15th of December? The 15th of December because the 15th of December 1964, Italy was the third country in the world to send an object, a satellite in the space. And this was after the United States and at the time the Soviet Union. So thank you for being with us. It's a special day for us. And we try to highlight today Italian competence, expertise and vision in this fast-growing sector, and we draw attention to the many economic, commercial and social benefits that space offers at both the national and the international level. Italy has always been part of the small group of visionary players which have a say beyond our atmosphere, boasting not only a long space tradition, but also a comprehensive, full-fledged supply chain of products and services that includes launchers, infrastructure, downstream services, and nanosatellites. Supported by institutions like the Italian Space Agency, the Italian Trade Agency, embassies and consulates worldwide, Italian companies and industrial districts are well known all over the world for their top quality, advanced technology, and competitive prices. Many of them are here today in this piazza, from the biggest and most experienced group to the smallest, hyper-innovative startup. In space, as well as in other domains, Italy is a reliable and trusted partner. With our European friends, with the US, and with all our other NATO allies, our defense and security cooperation has once more demonstrated its value in the challenging times that we are living. And I'm therefore particularly glad to see today with us representatives from other embassies and defense attaché offices, along with the US Air Force and Space Force representatives. Let me also remind here our decisive commitment for a UN-wide cooperation approach to advance the exploration and peaceful use of outer space, having in mind sustainability and the future of generations to come. In the field of multilateral cooperation, our leading role within the European Space Agency has been reconfirmed at the end of November in Paris, where 22 member states of the European Union agreed to boost spending on space by 17% to fund projects between 2023 and 2025. Additionally, in 2024, Italy and the city of Milan will host the 75th edition of the International Astronautical Congress. And with the same view, I would also like to underline Italy's candidacy to host the 2030 Universal Exposition in Rome, a city that is more and more at the center of a flourishing aerospace ecosystem. However, space in Italy rhymes not only with Milan and Rome. In fact, thanks to the development of 15 regional technological aerospace districts, you can find a wide and diversified network of companies and research centers in the north, center, and south of the country, and even on our big islands. Venturing farther into space and constantly moving boundaries of what can be done and achieved forward is exactly what the partnership between the US and Italy on space means. Just think of the International Space Station. Half of its habitable volume was built in Italy, as well as the logistics modules used by the space shuttles and still launched today on Cygnus from Wallop Island to resupply the ISS. The great interest expressed by many American private industries in the new race to low-orbit commercial destinations is a clear example of the potential that can be further expressed on this specific technology. Not to mention our productive collaboration in robotic missions to explore the solar system, providing pioneering scientific expertise and instruments. And I encourage you to give a look to Looking Beyond, the photographic exhibition in the auditorium. The satellite images come from the first Cosmos SkyMed constellation. Its second-generation satellite launched from US soil on SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket from Cape Canaveral a few months ago. And more recently, Italy was part of NASA's DART mission, the first planetary defense mission in history, carrying the Italian microsatellite LISIA-CUBE, a made-in-Italy technological jewel designed by the Italian Space Agency and entirely manufactured by Argotec in Turin. These are just some recent, more specific examples, but with a larger view, I cannot but mention that Italy has been the first European country to sign the Artemis Accords. This is important, especially now that Orion has landed successfully. We are returning to the moon, and Italy will be part of the challenge. The Artemis program, led by NASA, is a fundamental step in the new era of human exploration of space, pushing the ambitions of humankind beyond current scientific and technological limits. As NASA Administrator Nelson keeps saying, the impossible is possible. And following the signing of the Artemis Accord, Italy and the United States have reinforced bilateral and multilateral cooperation for the exploration and utilization of space, an important step towards the future expansion of humanity in the solar system toward Mars via asteroids and moons. Truly the new frontier. From the new technological solutions to experimental research, from space tourism to observation services, from logistics modules to launchers, from satellites to advanced materials, from top engineers to astronauts like Luca Parmitano. Those of you who were here this morning heard him, telling his own experience of being in space, to school children. Well, Italy is there in all these sectors and all his women and men. A good selection of our best is in Washington with us today. For the rest, I invite you to fly to Italy as soon as you can, commercially, or why not suborbitally. Tried it. So as the Hollywood season approaches, I want to say to everyone, happy holidays, but most of all, really thank you so much for being with us. This was a special day for us, and I hope also for you.